Hey everybody, it's Don with Bearded Barbecue and Adventures, and man, do I have something exciting for you today. About a month ago or so, Little Bear and I were cruising around. We went to a Buc-ee's, and they had the Pit Barrel Cooker PBX, which is the large version, the 22.5 inch, on sale for $220. At the time, we were busy, and so I didn't really pull the trigger, didn't do anything about it. Well, I happened to go back to the same Buc-ee's today, and I saw that the price had dropped. They still had one new in a box for $199. So I figured, what the heck, let me go ahead and get it. We'll do an unboxing, and I'll do just an initial burn in for seasoning to give you a little bit of a honest review and feedback on what this thing entails. So I'm excited. Let's go ahead and get it unboxed and see what it comes with. All right, everybody, as you can see, we got it all unboxed. There's just a minor bit of assembly that you have to do. And it's basically just putting the lid together. So as you can see, I've got a box of hardware right here. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, get everything assembled, get the drum unit put together, and then we're going to talk about some of the features and things that I've noticed as I was unboxing it. Okay, now we've got it fully assembled. So bear with me as I'm holding, I film everything on my iPhone. So just bear with me as I kind of hold and try to talk through this. So the first thing to note is the handle itself. It's a really cool bent horseshoe design. When you're putting the handle on, they do tell you to be careful. The holes are offset on the lid. So pay attention to how you're mounting that on there, because you want the center of the handle to line up directly with the center of the lid to create a good balance. Okay. The second thing is we take the lid off here. You can hang it on the horseshoe handles, which are kind of neat. You see the 3 rebar that go into the top of the grill that controls airflow. We'll talk about that in a minute. And you see the grate. Now, this particular grate I have sitting down really low. What's cool about the PBX is it has 2 great locations. So if you want to do some true grilling like burgers, hot dogs, those type of things, it works out perfectly for that. But a really cool feature is I have the PBX Classic, and the supports that hold the grill grates on are basically just screws. Well, these are actually little brackets that are on there with the 2 grill locations. So that's really neat that you can kind of set the grate at a different height. And then going down in here, if you look, you can see the charcoal basket below. And because this wasn't like a kit that I bought, I don't have the ash pan that I do on my Pit Barrel Classic. So that's okay, but for the price, I could not pass this up. Couple of the main differences. So just for those of you that are new to the channel or haven't seen me cook on my Pit Barrel, I do have the Pit Barrel Classic. It's an 18-inch version, whereas this is the 22.5-inch version. And the rebar is designed to hang meat. So one of the things that I do that it does a great job with is hanging ribs and hanging chicken halves. I absolutely love to cook those 2 things. But even when you're not hanging meat, it is recommended that the rebar stay in place because it's all about airflow control. You have the very bottom vent down here that you set based on your altitude. So we're close to sea level, so 1/4 open is what I have it set to. And then once the rebar is in place, you have the correct flow for your temperature and the way this whole process works and the technology that they've designed it. So keep your rebar in. It's got a built-in spot for a bottle opener. I think I have one on my Pit Barrel Classic out there. I can't remember if I actually put it on or not, but anyway, there is the option that you can do that. These guys are made in the USA, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe that they're a veteran-owned company. So it's a fantastic way to support something made right here in the USA. Not to mention these machines. I mean, I am a little biased because I do have the Pit Barrel Classic, but it's a great smoker. It produces a fabulous product. So what we're going to do is I'm going to shut the camera off now, and we're going to come back and we're going to do just a basic initial burn in, so I can kind of show you how they recommend that you light the Pit Barrel and how you get it started. And we're just going to do just a burn in just to kind of get the initial seasoning on there. And then I can't wait to do some future videos on this guy. So we'll see you in a few. Okay, guys, the other thing to it, this is what I was telling you about. You set it to based on your altitude. It tells you what to set it to. Mine's at 1/4 inch. It does come with like a book that sells all the different type of accessories. When you get the Pit Barrel, it does come with the hanger and 16 of these hooks to hang meat. So you're going to have plenty of that. So now that you kind of see every part of it, let's go ahead and get that burn-in going. All right, time for the fun. Let's get this burn-in going. So as you can see, I've already leveled out my charcoal basket. The Pit Barrel Cooker Company recommends using just the plain old blue classic Kingsford briquettes. So I've leveled that off, and then we've got a small chimney over here I'm going to take you to next, and we'll get that fired up and get it going. As you can see, we've got a tumbleweed set up and ready to go on the Kamado Joe. As you can see, this is a very small charcoal chimney, and it's about the same size that Pit Barrel Cooker sells as well. They've got a really neat one. It's just like this Weber that I picked up at Academy, but it says to fill the basket up level, fill the charcoal chimney up level with the briquettes and let them go for about 15 minutes, and then we'll dump it in the Pit Barrel Cooker. So we'll come back and check on this in 15 minutes. All right, guys, it's been about 15 minutes, and so what we're going to do is spread these coals out just kind of evenly throughout the Pit Barrel Cooker here to get it going. This is the part of that initial burn-in process. Okay, got it in there. Some spots are heavier than others, but that's okay. We don't need it to be super even since we're not really doing a cook. This is mainly just to season it. Okay, the burning process has been going for a little while now. Just a reminder that when I initially put the charcoal on top, I let the lid off of it for about 5 to 10 minutes just to make sure that it had enough time and airflow for all the charcoal briquettes to catch and take light. And that seems to have happened, so I put the lid on, rebar's in place, everything's good to go. Can't talk about how important the burn-in process is initially when you get any grill, not just in this case the PBX. There are things where it's manufactured, it's got oils, it's got chemicals, it's got residue on there. You want to burn all that stuff off that you don't want in your food. So please, please, please don't skip this step with any type of grill that you're using. The lighting process that we did tonight, just to recap, is we used the charcoal chimney and we used a tumbleweed, which is just a paraffin wax that when you light it, it gets the chimney going after about 15 minutes, and then you dump the coals and you kind of spread them out evenly as you can on the charcoal basket on the bottom. There are instructions in the PBX which talk about a lighter fluid option, like how to use lighter fluid if you're going to do it that way. And that's a quick way, I get it. A lot of people like to use it. Just personally, I don't care for it because I always seem to think that my food has that aftertaste. Maybe it's in my head, I don't know. Maybe I'm not the only one that thinks that. But anyway, I like using the tumbleweeds just because they're probably the most efficient. Before I go, please make sure that you comment any questions you have about anything with the PBX, or like I said before, I've had the Classic for almost 4 years now. So any questions you have about either one of those grills, I'd be happy to answer, or any grill or product you've seen me use on the channel. I mean, please, I love to respond to comments. So I'd be happy to do so. If you like this content and you appreciate it, please, hey, give me that thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't thought about doing so just yet. I'd really appreciate that too. So in the meantime, until the next video, we'll see you guys behind the grill or behind the wheel.